Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside of the body, but the sexual immoral person sins against his own body. Now yes, if you have been following this series, yet again another verse related to sexual sin. But that is how important this is, and this verse out of any further emphasizes that. Paul is not telling us to fight it out or anything like that. Paul is telling us to run from it. That is just how dangerous this is. Paul is telling us here that it is a sin against our own body, against our own self. Sexual sin is dangerous. It can change how we perceive others, in the sense that it can change how we respect others. Because sometimes you'll see that a lot of people just focus on the physical and just don't respect them at all. They don't have boundaries. They don't hold their boundaries. Sexual sin can rot your mind. Sexual sin will change how you perceive sex, because the way that sex is perceived currently in this world is way differently from how God intends it and wants it to be. Because the way that God wants it to be is a good way, a good, holy, and love-filled way. And sexual sin can change the way that you perceive love, because sometimes in this world you may see it that just because they think they want to hook up with said person means that they love them. Just because you hooked up with said person, if you already did it, doesn't mean you love them or they love you back. It can change how you perceive love, because the true definition of love is God, is Jesus. And what is that? That is, love is first a commitment, a sacrifice, an action before a feeling. And when I mean an action, as I said, it's an action of sacrifice and commitment. The truest act of love was Jesus on that cross, dying for us, because he forgave us, because he gave us that salvation out of grace, love, and mercy. And I mentioned those 4 things, but there's many more consequences to it. It's a very dangerous thing that we must have control over. Now, how do we apply this? Because it is easier said than done sometimes. Well, I assumed a strategy plan, a plan of sorts, yes. And it can be resumed with the acronyms GPPR. The first step, the letter G, means God. That is being with God, spending time with God, giving your life and your desires to God. Because a lot of the bad sexual acts and thoughts come from a sexual desire. We need to let God in our lives so that we can slowly change, and so that he can heal us from anything that is binding us, so that he can free us. Then there is the second step, that is PP, that is protect and prevent. Here, verses like Job 31 verse 1 are very important. This step means to protect your eyes and your ears and whatever else you may need to, so that you don't think about those things, so that you don't desire those things as much. Protect what you see, videos, what you read. Protect what you hear, music, audios, whatever it is that you know will cause you to have those sexual thoughts, desires, and may lead you to do the thing that you shouldn't. And the last step is R, that is to run. This is when it's too hard for you, because sexual sin most of the times is too hard for us. That is to run, and not run randomly, but run towards God. And if you notice, it goes full circle. Spend time with God, protect your eyes and ears so that you prevent it, and when the situation does arise where you can't help it anymore, you run back to God. Because we shouldn't think that we can fight it on our own and just fight the sexual sin, fight the temptation. No. This verse clearly states for us to run towards God. And sometimes we quite literally need to run. Because Joseph in the Bible, in Genesis 39 verse 11 to 12, did that. When he was being tempted to do something that he shouldn't, he ran. He ran the other way and didn't look back. That is an example that we should follow. We should run towards God all the way and not look back. Because it's a dangerous trap, this sin. And most of us have fallen victim to it. Most of us are still victims to it. But you can do it. Because first of all, yesterday's verse, God called us to freedom. Freedom from the law and from sin. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but power and of love and of self-control. And God is with us. If you let God into your life, God will work. So let God into your life and put those practices of self-control daily. It is a daily thing. If you want to get better, practice it every day. Because you don't know when you're going to be attacked by any type of sin, by any type of temptation. I know this was a bit of a touchy topic for some. It is a topic that hurts a lot of people because they are still falling victim to it. And that is normal. But God is with us. And God wants to help us. And that's why we must spend time with God. Because sometimes we do those things and it feels like it doesn't work. But God will work. Because God didn't free us from sin just so that we could still live in it. So trust that God will work, even if it does take longer than you want it to be. Of course, while you wait, sometimes put your part, no matter what. Self-control is important. See you on the next one. God bless you all.